The Tobago Hospitality and Tourism Institute, they're taking it upon themselves to be able to have an initiative where they can improve customer service across the island. And this morning we're going to be chatting with the CEO of the Tobago Hospitality and Tourism Institute, Dr. Stephen Shepherd, as well as Mrs. Joanna Moses Watke, the project lead of the Tobago Hospitality and Tourism Institute. And of course, Ms. Sophia Bulhan, the Marketing and Communications Manager of the same this morning, because we want to find out about this project a little bit. Apparently, it's going to be happening from now all the way to the end of the year.
Oh,
so
that's nice.
It's a long project where they're going to roll out a plan to be able to have better customer service, because even if it's good already, like for me, you can never go wrong improving the skills. It's like any other job that you have, it's important for you to be able to upskill all the time so that you want to constantly train, you want to constantly get better. And the way the market is going and the economy goes and technology goes, you always want to be able to use those things to your advantage.
You have to. I mean, as you mentioned technology, one of the first things that comes to mind is something as simple as TripAdvisor. Some people don't realize how powerful this website is and why customer service is critical. Good customer service is critical because let's just say, for example, you had a bad experience and you decided to go onto TripAdvisor and, basically have your say as to what happened. Before you know it, most people who are coming in and looking to stay somewhere, they're not going to stay there when they see that review. This is what people rely on.
I can't lie, I've done that.
Yeah.
I've chosen places based on the reviews.
Of course.
We all do it when we're shopping online. That's what we do. We look at the reviews of things to see what people say about it, whether I should buy it or should not buy it, etc., etc. So this morning, I want to welcome my guests. Morning and welcome to the Now Morning Show.
Good morning, Marcus. Thank you.
Thank you guys so much for joining me. Now, I know it's a lot of us here, but we're going to try and have this conversation as smoothly as possible. So I want to start with you, Dr. Shepherd, as CEO. Tell me the importance of having this series of improving and upgrading customer service in Tobago.
It's extremely important. Tobago has many touch points. So let's start with the Tobagonians. What we're trying to do is improve the quality of service for everyone. So this is not a tourism thing.
Okay.
Once we improve the quality of service for Tobagonians first, then for Trinidadians and Tobagonians, and then we'll find out how good we treat each other here, they'll come. So we think it's tourism, or we can't do it for the tourists primarily, it's for us. And this is very important because it was observed quite a while ago. There are a few weak areas in the quality of customer service in Tobago. It was even mentioned in Parliament as recently as 2016. So we thought we'll do something about it. And this is a project that we've launched to do something about it. And it's actually a 3-year project, not 1 year. It's going to take a while.
Okay, how long do we expect it to take?
3 years.
3 years. Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
Joanna Moses Watke, I want to chat a little bit about the actual project. Can you break down for me what is the process that's going to happen?
All right, so this project is under the Tobago Tourism Agency Limited. Their mandate is product development, and they are collaborating with us for this intervention. And basically, we are looking, as Dr. Shepherd said, at all the touch points, all the points where a visitor, local or international, will interact. So it's about enhancing the visitor experience. And we are doing this with an international partner, world-renowned customer service guru organization known as Uplifting Service. And they are in Singapore. And basically, the rollout will be first, you need to have persons that will deliver the training, and we call them our workshop leaders. And to date, we have done 6 weeks intensive training with a mentor and coach from Uplifting Service, who are basically training our workshop leaders as to how they will deliver the training to almost all the touch points throughout Tobago, and then by extension, Trinidad.
Okay,
but
so we have...
Sophia can also tell you more about this.
Yeah, so what you're saying is that we have people who have been trained by Uplifting to then go forward and train Tobagonians to better have better customer service. Sorry. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
How many workshop leaders did we train?
So it's being delivered in cohorts. Our first cohort comprised of 23 workshop leaders, and we'll have a second cohort. And if demands be, we have more cohorts. But basically, we need to ensure that the customer interaction is really competitive. You mentioned before constant improvement. So that is why the intervention is 3 years, and then we're looking at continuous improvement thereafter.
All right, well, let me get across to Sophia Bulhan. Good morning to you, Sophia. And I am curious as to how do we get people to be interested in improving their customer service skills? How do we increase the demand for people who want to be a part of these workshops?
Okay. Well, it's a multi-pronged approach. The first thing is the Tobago Tourism Agency Limited. When we first launched this project in August, we actually invited over 40 Tobago leaders and influencers. And they were introduced to this model and how we were to transform, because we need the buy-in of the leadership to make this transformation. So following that will be the recruitment of the workshop leaders. And the tourism agency as well will be embarking on a promotional campaign to introduce this model and to raise awareness at every level in Tobago. And THTI as well will be doing direct outreach to many of these leaders who've been introduced to this model, as well as every organization and touch point in Tobago. So we have our trainers ready and our team is ready. And as early as next month, we will start to deliver the training and to reach out to organizations to register participants.
And if organizations want to register to be a part of it, how can they?
Oh, absolutely. They can reach out to us. They can reach us by phone at 313-0456. They can also send us an email at customer.service@thti.edu.tt.
At thti.edu.tt. All right, and is there a cost for doing this workshop, or are you guys giving out for free?
There will be no cost to this training to organizations and individuals in Tobago. This project is being sponsored by the Tobago Tourism Agency Limited.
Well, this is fantastic. I mean, so it's free. We can improve the customer service. We can improve the relations among Tobagonians, serving each other and being happier about it. Is that the goal? Is really to just get everybody happier, Dr. Shepherd?
Yeah, that's the goal. But the thing is, service means money. Once your product is good, if your service is fantastic, your customers will return. And that's the objective.
Okay. All right. So as a fairly simple objective, customers returning, that's what we want. But I know that there's a bigger picture as well, because more than just customers returning, we get to build an economy that is able to sustain itself. Yeah?
Definitely, sir. Definitely. And this is, while it starts in Tobago, this includes Trinidad, because some of the workshop leaders are from Trinidad. Okay. And we expect that as Tobago is rolled out, eventually it will get to Trinidad. But given Tobago is a primary tourism destination, I felt it needed to start here first. Then we want to build a very resilient country that people will feel very comfortable coming, staying, and returning.
Yeah. Joanna, can you give me somebody? Go ahead, Dr. Shepherd.
No, I said, and tourism going forward, will be one of the major revenue earners of this country as energy revenues fall. We do have to diversify, and this is one of the means. Not the only one. That's one of the avenues of changing the economy in a serious way.
Now, Joanna, we mentioned...
I can just add one point as well.
Sure.
Service is really an important element in differentiating your product. So if we're going to build a brand and be competitive in the region or even globally, service is at the heart of what we can do to differentiate. Because everybody can build a product, we can have great destinations, but service is what will really make us stand out. And that's where we're putting this emphasis.
Yeah, for sure. Now, you say service, but I kind of want to get a bit more specific, Joanna, if you don't mind, in terms of how do we define what is the service or what are the services that we want to improve?
So service for us, and this has been reiterated over that intensive training, is really increasing value through through interaction with someone. So it's really increasing value. You've done a transaction with someone and you want to increase value. And so we look at every point from how you look before you speak, during that transaction, what happens after, the follow-up. And there's a set of processes that we look at and ways to improve that. So our set of workshop leaders, I mean, we have picked a wide variety of workshop leaders across different spectrum and sectors throughout Trinidad and Tobago, so they can identify those touch points and processes, whether it's a fisherman, you're buying fish, whether it's the supermarket, gas station, and your regular, what you're accustomed to, the hotels and the airports and so on, and basically looking at ways to improve each touch points and each process as you go along.
Dr. Shepherd, how do we know when we've achieved success in this area?
How will we know? Well, we have set some measurement criteria, some success criteria. Now, first, service is not about smiling and saying good morning. That's a small part of it, right? There are a number of systems in the back that will help in service delivery, but how do we know? When we get the feedback from customers. There are already measurement systems in place, and the results from some of those measurement systems are not very complimentary. So when we see the results changing, then we know. When we see visitor arrivals, return visitors especially, changing, going up, then we know. When we hear that there are referrals without having to advertise, those are some of the criteria we use to measure.
All right, well, we look forward to seeing some of these measurements. I'm curious, Sophia, have you guys been doing measurements before to see the state of things right now in terms of customer service and how people give you feedback relating to their experiences?
Yes, absolutely. In addition to building on many of the studies that were done, as Dr. Shepherd referred to earlier, we've also conducted a survey in collaboration with the Tobago Tourism Agency. And the feedback resoundingly across all sectors is that service in Tobago greatly needs improvement. So there is consensus on that for sure.
All right. Well, this sounds very, very encouraging, because I think it's always good when we can have improvement in especially our customer service areas. I know traditionally we've been falling a little bit in that area. So I applaud the work that you guys are doing, and I hope that we can see the benefits of it in the very near future. Any closing words before we wrap up this morning, Dr. Shepherd?
Well, just to ask Trinidad and Tobago to continue to be safe. One, because we need to survive, but just to serve each other properly, right? Like, I want to reiterate, this is not about for the tourist. This is about for us. Once we serve each other properly, we will do well, and we'll find out our revenues will be better, and the overall product, brand Trinidad and Tobago, will stand out among the world, and that's what we are aiming for, right? So we're trying to improve the traffic to the destination, trying to improve repeat traffic to the destination. So we will keep you informed. We're having a graduation on the 22nd of February of this first set of workshop leaders. And you can be invited if you want. We could be live, or we could send you a link, you could record it. So you're invited to that graduation ceremony of the first set of workshop leaders.
All right, thank you very much for the invitation. We'll do our best to be there. But I want to thank you all for joining us this morning as well and sharing this information, and congratulations. I think that we definitely look forward to seeing the updates as we continue the process over the next 3 years.
Sure, definitely. And we'll stay in touch with you and update you.
All right, appreciate it. Thank you very much. That's Dr. Stephen Shepherd, the CEO of THTI, Mrs. Joanna Moses Watke, the project lead, and Sophia Bulchan, the marketing and communications manager. Thank you all so much for joining us, and congratulations on this experience.
Okay, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Our pleasure.
Enjoy the rest of your day. Take care.